I am joined now by national political correspondent Steve Kornacki to take us through all of the numbers. Steve, it's so great to have you here. A lot of headlines in this new poll.
Yeah, Kristen, and you mentioned an uphill climb for these Republican opponents of Donald Trump. Let's show folks from our new poll exactly how steep it is. Look at this. Donald Trump, brand new national poll of Republican primary voters, nearly 60% support the former president. His nearest rival, Ron DeSantis, more than 40 points behind him now. Obviously, you can see here nobody else in single digits. And look at the movement, too. From the start of the summer, we polled this back in June. Trump seemed to have a dominant lead then. It has only gotten more dominant. From 43 now, it was not even 30 in June. And you can see here, we asked the question. I think this gets to the heart of it. We asked Republicans, should Donald Trump be the leader of your party? And now nearly 60% say yes. It wasn't quite 50 at the start of the summer.
Well, Stephen, what's so stunning about this number, a lot's happened since June. We're talking 2 more indictments against former President Trump, so 4 in total, and the first GOP primary debate. And yet, Mr. Trump is just solidifying his lead with GOP voters.
And Kristen, you know this from talking to Republican critics of Trump from rival campaigns. Everything you just explained, they thought would take him down a peg this summer. And instead, he has only moved up here. You can see the numbers saying the party needs a new leader. That has gone down. So for Donald Trump there, nothing but good news. And it raises this question. If Republicans go forward and nominate Trump again, this is what the rematch in our poll would look like right now. 46-46. And you remember, in 2020, Joe Biden actually won the popular vote by more than 4 points. And how about this? DeSantis, who sort of pitched himself as the electable version of Trump to Republicans, fares worse against Biden than Trump does. We also tested Nikki Haley, the former UN ambassador. She actually leads Joe Biden by 5 in our poll.
This is notable because she had such a strong showing in the first primary debate. Could that be the reason we're seeing this bump, Steve?
Possible. Let's put a pin in this one, though, because one thing our poll found, she's not nearly as well known as Trump and DeSantis. So more attention, more scrutiny, more attacks. Would this hold up? We'll see. But obviously, the fact that the president is struggling this much against every Republican we put him up against raises the question. Where is that coming from? The most obvious answer is just this, a simple question of job approval. Barely 40% approve of Joe Biden's performance.
And we have to note, 56%. That's the highest disapproval rating for President Biden since he took office. That's significant.
Yeah, so let's take a look at what's driving that, too, here. In one big area, no surprise, it is the economy. Look at this contrast. This is April of 21, months after Biden took office. Nearly half the country was satisfied with where the economy was then. Now, barely 1 in 4 Americans satisfied with the economy. There's also this. We found an enthusiasm gap between the two parties. We asked folks on a scale of 1 to 10, how enthusiastic are you about the presidential election? And you can see Republican to Democrat, there is a gap right there. Where's the lag for Democrats? We found a couple places. Non-white voters, you could see significantly less enthusiastic than white voters. And then how about this age gap? The youngest group of voters who Democrats have been trying to get excited and motivated, a nearly 50-point gap there.
So really an uphill battle to try to make sure voters don't stay home if you're Democrats.
Yeah, that's it. And the problem for Democrats, too, the lack of enthusiasm about the election. There's clearly a lack of enthusiasm about the president himself, because we asked primary voters on the Democratic side, do you want options next year besides Biden? 59% said yes, they do. This is not a normal number for an incumbent. We asked the same question a year before Donald Trump sought re-election of Republicans. Only 37% wanted more choices then. That's a very high number.
Yeah, this is like the inverse of each other, these two numbers.
Exactly. Yeah. And so it raises the question, too, what else concerns Democrats? And I think this gets to sort of the elephant in the room here. Biden's age and fitness. I mean, look at this contrast. We have talked so much about Donald Trump, the indictments, the legal woes. They are clearly a major or moderate concern to the majority of Americans. But Biden's age and fitness for office, almost 3 out of 4 in our poll. This is Democrats, Republicans, independents say it's a major or moderate concern for them. How about Trump? He's only a few years younger than Biden. A full 27-point gap right there. This is looming as a major problem for the president, too.
It's notable because his strategy is to try to laugh off concerns about his age. We'll have to see if they revisit that strategy. All right, fascinating stuff. Steve Kornacki, thank you so much.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.